So first of all, I think we should all, understand the importance of an order. You know, now the old order, uh, it was an order. It was a product of its times. But why I felt that its virtues were exaggerated was, I think the rule maker and the rule taker had somewhat different perspectives, because I also said in the same interview, if you were at the receiving end of some of those rules or the application of those rules, we had issues. And let me give you two or three practical examples. You know, if you capriciously, if it suits your interest, somebody is good, not good, well, I'll make up my mind how they're going to do, and you apply that order to the same country on the same issues differently. Take Afghanistan. Okay. So the same Afghanistan, the same Taliban, which was an outlier, was welcomed in the Doha process, was welcomed in Oslo. Apparently, at that time, people were okay with it. Today, again, we are going back saying, Taliban is doing all these uh, not so good things. Now, if they were doing all of that, what was discussed in Oslo and Doha? You had uh, uh, a British general who described them at that time as, well, they are country boys with their own honor code. Now, so when it suits you to deal with the Taliban, they are okay. When it is not, they're not okay. You are an extremist today, you wear a suit and tie, you are okay. I think I have a problem with that. Let's give you a second example. We all speak of sovereignty and territorial integrity. All of us agree. It's a vital principle. It's a bedrock of global rules. After the Second World War, the longest standing illegal, I would say, presence, occupation of a territory by another country pertains to India. What we saw in Kashmir. Now, we went to the UN. What was an invasion was made into a dispute. So the attacker and the victim were put on par. Who were the culpable parties? UK, Canada, Belgium, Australia, USA. So, pardon me, I have some question marks on that whole order. Now, I can give you many more. We speak today of political interference. When the West goes out into other countries, it's apparently in pursuance of democratic freedoms. When other countries come into the West, it seems to have a very malign intention. So I think we need, if to have an order, there must be fairness. I agree with you, Dominic. We need a strong UN, but a strong UN requires a fair UN. A strong, a global order must have some, some basic consistency of standards. We have military coups to our east in Myanmar. They are no. We have them even more regularly to the west. You know why? They seem to be okay. So I think it's important to audit the working of the world for the last 8 decades and be honest about it, and to understand today that the balances, the shareholdings in the world have changed. We need a different conversation. We need, frankly, in that sense, a different order.
Yes, Jaishankar, a few days ago you gave an interview to the Financial Times where you said, and I quote, if we don't have an order, then you are looking at a very anarchic world, very Hobbesian. But you also said, and this was the headline of the article, in fact, the virtues of the old order, of the old world order, are exaggerated. Why are they exaggerated?
Well, first of all, good to be with all of you and with all of you too. Look, I think we do need an international order, just like we need a domestic order. So if you need a society in a country, you need an international version of that. And it's not just big countries who will benefit if there is no order. I would argue that any country which will take risks, which will have extreme positions which would, test the system will actually use disorder to its advantage. I mean, we've seen in our own neighborhood, you don't have to be a big country to be a risky country. Have some smaller neighbors who have done a pretty good job at that.